Hey guys, what's up? It's Nick here. Giving you guys another video. It's a FireCrest video. Um, I think FireCrest is one of the strongest builds in the game for DPS and PvP. Um, that's obviously outside of the shotguns with Alpha Bridge and Sentry, which I think everyone can agree with is an issue and needs to be solved, along with a bunch of other things that hopefully they'll fix soon. I'm having faith because there's big streamers like Light Butter and Skill Up and all of them who have been giving information. They haven't revealed anything, but they have said that they have high hopes now after hearing what they've been planning. So I have faith in Massive. I have faith. Anyways, let's get into this build. I'm using an MP7 and an AK. I got 3-piece Firecrest, 2-piece Tactician, and Savage Gloves. So this build is very strong for two reasons: my skill power and my weapons. For the weapons, with my AK, I'm using Brutal, Deadly, Responsive, which is perfect roll. It's really good. It's a 204 gear score weapon, but to me that doesn't matter because the damage I'm getting is really good, and I'm happy it's a 204 because I wouldn't have to increase my firearms to 28, 25 to unlock Brutal and Responsive. So it works out really well. The damage is pretty good on it too. 10.3k with 1400 extra, and I'm rocking 57 bullets. And I got 22% enemy armor damage, which is nice. And for my attachments, I'm running a mag size, weapon damage mag size, headshot damage crit chance on my optic, critical hit damage for my muzzle, and all stability on my barrel. And it's a very accurate weapon, so I went with stability to make it even better. So that's my AK. My MP7, very, very known why I'm using this. MP7 is one of the strongest SMGs in the game. Personally, in my opinion, the strongest in the game after they nerfed the Vector and AUG, which I still think was stupid, but it's fine. I got an MP7 now. 41% critical hit damage on it. 10.2k with an extra 1400 added onto that. 40 bullets. I got self-preserved, brutal, deadly. It's a very strong roll. I have multiple MP7s. I've had like 10 in the stash at a time, but I haven't gotten a roll better than this. I had a roll for Brutal, which I'm happy again is in the third slot because this is a 229, so I would have had to have 28, 25 firearms, and the reason I'm running 2700 firearms is because firearms doesn't mean shit in this game. I've been saying it for a while. I know a bunch of my friends have been saying it. Scale Up recently made a video talking about it. It is useless. Firearms are useless. People, when they think DPS, they're thinking, oh, let's just max out my firearms and toughness, make myself a tank DPS, That's not what it's about. If you do that, you're gonna die because your heal's not gonna be worth it because your skill power is low, and your pulse isn't gonna give you much damage. This is why if you run into a two-man Tactician, I've done this before. I ran 2 Tacticians with my buddies. I have a max pulse, he has a max smart cover. If we hop on that and hop off, we shred anything fast as hell because of the skills. Skills are the way to go in this game. Yes, you do need decent firearms, especially with the DPS build, but you don't need more than 3,000. If you're rocking like 34, 3,500, you're overpaying for your firearms. Remove that. Put it in the toughness if you're rocking really low toughness, or do what I did here and put it into your skill power because you'll be better off, I promise you, alright? Let's try it out, I promise, alright? But that's the firearm thing. 434k toughness. I would have liked to have close to 500k, but with this build, like I said, instead of going for toughness, I went for electronics on here because I'm trying to put down players as fast as possible with this build, and that's what this mask is for. I got electronic roll in this mask, and on here I have armor roll because I did need armor for this build to max me out there. But that's for my mask, alright? While we're here, we'll look at the mask. We've got 5400 skill power, enemy armor damage, so if I happen to get an area where there's a ton of NPCs, I can take them all in my MP7, or if I want, I can just pull out my AK, have 30% enemy armor damage there, and they're done. Skill I would like to change, but nothing I can do there. Outside of that mod, though, I use everything with the stamina, skill power. I think those are the best mods in the game for what you need. For my FireCrest, I got 720 armor, 3,400 health. I would have rather had the health be exotic damage resilience, but I don't feel like I run into one-hit stickies anymore that much, so it's not a huge issue for me, but It's whatever. The roll on it's 698. Not the highest roll. Definitely would like another piece for this. Maybe with armor and exotic damage resilience. But for this, it's decent. Um, Again, skill would like to change, but I can't. Here we go with my bag. This is my last video for my Alpha Bridge. This bag is pretty much god roll. I got bleed resistance, so if I'm getting hit by grenades or something, a sticky, got some resistance to that. If there's a predator user, I got some resistance to that. I got 8% first aid ally heal, so I can help my teammates out. 757 roll on the firearms, which is amazing. 7,300 skill power, which is really good as well. And the biggest thing about this build I love is the pulse duration. I went into this in my last video too. That pulse duration is amazing because I get my pulse back before it ends. So I'm always dealing high damage. You know, I'm always gonna be dealing high damage, which is really good. Especially for a DPS build. Like, being able to have a pulse up 24/7 is insane. And that just really, it's really nice to have. My gloves, pretty basic, perfect roll gloves. And you see there, this was my last video too. Only thing I could change on it is maybe the firearm roll, but again, outside of that, there's nothing else I would change about it. Savage gloves, of course, 14% against enemies out of cover for crit chance, very strong. And another reason why I don't use crit chance on my MP7 or my AK, because there's no need for it. And I'll show you guys that why when I go to my pulse. My knee pads, 21% critical hit damage, which is awesome. Blind death resistance, which is alright. Disrupt resistance, which is nice. If I get flashed, kill XP is just there. And sticky bomb explosive radius, again, would like to change the skill, but I can't. So the biggest thing I would change here is my skill. But it's oh well. And my holster is very good here. It's got sticky bomb damage. Again, would like to change it, but can't complain about the rolls on this though. I've got armor, 753 stamina, 758 firearms, 719 electronics. Very good roll in this holster, and I wouldn't really change anything about it except the skills, which again, half the time you're kind of lucky. You get lucky, you don't. You know, it happens. So those are all my pieces. And everything I use, and I'm gonna get into the skills now. My heal does about 80k for me and 86k to my teammates, so it's a very strong heal, especially with a build like this that's DPS. And since I'm running lower toughness than I'm usually using, I usually use at least 500k or close to it. That heal's really strong and it keeps me alive. Here's the big one: 88% critical hit damage on my pulse with 40% critical hit chance. This is the reason why I do so much damage, is because of the skill power. I'm doing 88% critical hit damage on top of 192% here, and 123% here too from a headshot damage. I'm doing a lot of damage. And I got 13% critical hit chance alone. Here, yeah, 13% critical hit damage alone. Add on savage gloves, which is extra 14%, so I'm rocking 27%, plus another 40%. I am maxed out. That's why I don't use any crit chance outside the optic, which pretty much every good thing has, because it's very much unneeded. Alright, it's so unneeded. That's why I'm just stacking the crit damage on here and the weapon damage, because I'm maxed out right now on crit chance, so that's why I'm stacking that. This is why I do so much damage, and this is why I think this one is better than my Alpha Bridge, because even though I am not doing as much damage, I'm doing more damage consistently. Because my other one, my Alpha Bridge build, as you can see, I was only doing damage when I had Competent active. As soon as Competent was inactive, I wasn't hitting damage for shit. Okay? This build, my pulse is up 24/7 because of its duration. I get my pulse back instantly. Especially if I'm running with a group in triage, I get it back way before it ends, alright? So my pulse is always on. I'm always dealing high damage with this build. And like I said, this is my favorite build by far. I don't know what else I could show you guys. It's a crit damage, headshot damage. I only got 8% enemy armor damage, but that's not what this is for. It's for PvP. And yes, the reason I'm using AK is for PvP. It's a strong AK, trust me. But my max health is 108%. I got max armor, you know, pretty regular stuff here. Um, I said that disrupt resistance is really nice to have, because if you're flashed or whatever, like, it's nice to be able to get your skills, you know, to be active faster and to use. But this is pretty much the build though. It's a very strong build, like I said. High skill power is the way to go for me with this build. Like I said, reminder guys, don't worry about your firearms. I can make a longer video on that if you want, talking about DPS and firearms, why none of that matters on that left side, in another video. Like I said, this is my FireCrest video. One of my favorite builds. Let me know what you guys think of this. Let me know what other builds you guys want to see. I have a Reclaimer, Tactician, Sentry. I already showed you guys the Alpha Bridge, now the FireCrest. I'm working on a blind build. I want to make a nice blind build, but that's a little hard to make. Not hard to make, but I'm still working on that. And yeah, so this is the build. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.